politicians did first to whether it's the free trade agreement or whatever. We've been sold out. Um, we've been lied to. They told all these coal miners back in the day, yeah, we're gonna bring these coal miners. That shit is
Nobody's
never coming
no
back.
one's
Don't
digging up
fucking let
coal.
nobody
Yeah.
show up to fucking bumfuck Tennessee or West Virginia somewhere, lying to these people, telling them, "Hey, give me your vote because I'm going to bring this shit back that went out in the '50s." Those days are over.
Yeah.
Even Detroit, right? Back in the day, people used to work for the big three, right? Ford,
GM's
GM,
coming back,
and
dude. It's gonna be
yeah,
their
they're
year.
coming back. All of this, you were building Detroit back. That shit's never happening, right? Because it doesn't make business or money. It doesn't make it makes
Well,
great American sense
y'all
to
bring up
do
a
it, but it
really good
makes
point, because like one of the things I jump in on though is like I kind of like trickle that down to the fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders, that phrase,
Gotta
because
make more money.
well, because like when I've talked to people in those different positions, like especially national security or just what is the better long-term health, we're talking 10 years plus view, everything's been condensed. You got to hit your quarterly goals. You got to hit your quarterly goals. It doesn't matter if in 10 years we've completely collapsed this entire industry and it doesn't exist anymore, because we got to do that because we are legally required to, because it is what is in the best interest of the shareholder, which is that we're not investing for 10 years. We're not investing for 50 years in this country. And if we can yeah, we're investing for every quarter and whatever comes out on the report, and then we applaud ourselves or we blame whoever's in charge for doing whatever. And
Another lap
meanwhile,
around the
yeah,
sun, guys.
or we lay off 20,000 people because we
Microsoft.
wanted to hit this goal.
Yeah.
Microsoft,
Yeah.
right?
Gotta hit that
But
quarter.
here's the thing: it still
But
goes
Activision
back, right?
Blizzard, fuck
And
all
and,
y'all.
I, and I by the way, before there's slander, I am a capitalist. I do believe in the
Capitalism is fine.
capitalist
It's
system.
corporatism. We all like. I think everybody confuses the
No,
two. It's like, yeah,
there has to be, and I know people are going to lash for that, but there has to be government oversight. Listen, I'm like everybody else. I'm for small government, but I'm for smart government.
yeah.
The government is there
Efficient
for a
government.
reason. It's
Yeah.
it's protect us, right? It's to make sure that these big companies don't just fuck us and drain all our pockets and spend all of our social security and spend all of our investments and shit like that, and then say, "Ha ha, there's nothing we can do for you." And then there has to be, you have to be smart with that as a nation. And I get it. We became this, it's not only about America anymore. We're a globalist society where all of these American companies have labor over in India and over in Pakistan, over in, the
Or
Asian markets and
manufacturing is a big one.
manufacturing. Like, there's a lot of physical labor that people can still do here, but we just choose to outsource that elsewhere. Whereas there's a reason why a lot of people go into jail. There's a reason why a lot of people. I mean, you got people over here that they're not scholars. They don't want to go to a 4, 5, 6 year school to go and get their master's degrees or or whatever, and to do it that way. Not everyone operates on that level. Some people use trades. That's what we need: mechanics, plumbers, electricians. There has to be skill sets for people who don't go through that system, right? That big system of debt. And that's what the college system has turned out to be. Back in our grandparents' day, going to college was no more than a couple of $100, right? Well, now, good luck. I have one daughter that's out of college,
Congrats,
and I got
man.
another one that's going to college
I'm so sorry.
in a few weeks. So
Well, that's
yes,
awesome. Yeah.
and I have to fit. I had to fit the bill for that. But there is no way that in my parents' time, I think my parents to go to college, it may have cost them $3,000, $4,000. Well, shit, it cost me, $50,000. Well, my kids, freaking hundred and twenty
When'd
thousand
you
dollars.
go to school?
I graduated college in 2001.
Okay, I graduated 2019. I had about 90,000 in debt.
90. Holy shit.
Oh,
I played baseball, and so just
Shit.
as a like different experience than anybody. So I had a baseball scholarship which covered like 90%, but I left university with maybe, and this is because I was stupid my senior year, and I was like, I want to live off campus. I'm going to take out a loan to cover it. That was pretty dumb. But I left college with 10 grand in debt.
That's crazy with a sports scholarship.
My wife is 7 years younger than me, so here's just how that changed in the course of time. I met her when she went into college at 18. I'm no pedo. I was like, oh, you're 18 and a half. Great. She was teasing me about that the other day. She's like, that's fucking weird now. Like at the time, it was like I was 25. She was 18.
You had tattoos. I knew.
Anyway, so like we just as an aside, we tried not to date each other pretty much for like for like a whole half of the year. So by the time she was 19, it's like, all right, we just want to hang out. And she went out on a date with a 24-year-old who was an asshole. So I owe this guy a lot of thanks, because then she was like, this guy sucks. Like, what's one more year, right? Like, what's one more year?
25 is when the brain develops for guys, right?
Right. That's actually as I transition out of my asshole phase and into like, oh, how do I act like a decent human being that the world doesn't revolve around me? Like, worked out timing wise, perfection. But we ended up years later getting married, clearly, and she went and got a master's degree. So when we got married, I inherited her $40,000 worth of student loans, and it was just like, holy crap! And then I remember,
is she a housewife? Is she a housewife?
She is a housewife. I'm blessed, dude.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
She went.
Put
Well,
that
to be
master's
fair to
work.
her and to me, she studied social work, which is like,
Oh, that's actually really solid.
and you want to
Yeah.
know, like, when we talk about people getting lied to, is that everybody in the administration is like, if you want to do these things in social work, if you want to work for these charities, if you want, and it's good work, but it doesn't pay. But you need a master's. You need a master's. You need a master's. That's the drumbeat. She gets out into the field. She's actually working. She worked for the National Kidney Foundation, and it was like they do good work. They're like it's really about trying to help real people. And nobody went to college. Everybody was like making fun of her for having a master's. And it's like you're making 30,000 maximum cap. Like maybe you'll get to 32. Good luck. And it's like, and you're 2 years salary without doing anything else in the hole. When you're starting out this life, it's like, good night. Yeah. And then what so that's all.
Well,
so you're 2019 and you had 90, or do you still have 90?
We're down to 50.
All right, guys, like and subscribe
know
to the
why I'm
podcast.
trying
We
to
gotta
pay
get
it.
this monetized for Dante.
Jesus.
But I don't know.
Well, let me tell you guys something, right? So as I will say this.
Are we going to talk about video
Student-
games?
We will talk about. I think we're gonna do Deadpool.
I just realized.
The whole
let me say
political situation is a video game. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, pretty much is. I will say this. The student debt that I had, I could have paid it over 1,000 times since then. I just always refuse, and I just always say, "Hey, listen, I'm just gonna take this shit to
That's
my."
kind of where I'm getting to. Is
Because-
You
like,
won't
listen,
let me
I-
bankrupt it.
I'm on the board of so many charities and so many everything else on the board of the school that I graduated from. But I will say this: I received an email about, I need to look, but let's call it a year ago, call it 6-7 months ago, whatever, that said that my student loan debt was forgiven.
You're a
And-
unicorn.
So you've been
Like
in,
that-
Dude, listen. If you know me, nothing happens unless I do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't win obviously lotteries, but I don't win like when you go to casino and stuff. I'm that guy. I never win anything. It's never on my radar. But this felt like I won the lottery. Not that I couldn't have been paid it off. I had no intention on paying it off.
So I
it's
paid
just
it
a
off.
Plus it wasn't it wasn't it wasn't much. It was like $30,000, but I felt like I won the lottery. Then like I picked that golden ticket at the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was like, holy shit. And then I thought about it. I was like, shit. I was like, baby, I wish this was you. I wish you would have. I wish yours was.
right?
But I will say this: that Joe Biden pulled through for me on that.
Yeah.
In
The only
that
concern I
happened.
have is that what happens next, right?